What is up everybody, my name is David, joined by Ali and Matt from Tube Noobs TV, and today we're going to be talking about the animals that have been released and are known to be in Far Cry Primal. So far we've obviously learned that becoming a Beastmaster in the game is one of the main features. The hero Taurus must conquer the wilds of Taurus, becoming the first to tame the savage predators of the wilderness to save his tribe. In this video we're going to look at the various animals you can expect to see in the game, including which animals are tameable, rideable, and we're also going to speculate as to what other animals we might see in the game.
Firstly then, we can discuss the tameable animals we know of in the game, starting with the Sabertooth Tiger. The Sabertooth Tiger looks to be one of the first animals we can tame in Taurus. This threatening beast is a vicious hunter, using its large fangs to tear apart prey and enemies of Taurus. The Sabertooth Tiger also had a powerful muscular body, which meant that it could quickly catch and pounce on its prey, before using its knife-like teeth to cause the fatal blow. In the same way as modern day felines, the Sabertooth Tiger was a carnivorous animal and would have been the most dominant predator within its environment. Large herbivore animals such as deer and bison would have been the most common prey of the Sabertooth Tiger, along with the occasional giant such as a smaller woolly mammoth should their ranges cross. We do not know a lot about the unique talent of the Sabertooth Tiger in game, but given how badass the creature is, I'm sure the developers can conjure up something great. I'd personally like to see it have an instant takedown ability, which would include the heavier targets that you see in game. I think that would be pretty sweet, just one-shot them.
Yeah, Matt, I really like that idea, but one thing that has been confirmed by Ubisoft is the Sabertooth Tiger is also rideable. That's right, you can travel through the lands of Taurus on the back of that awesome predator, and I think your enemies will be that scared that they're literally gonna wish they hadn't evolved into humans.
The next tameable animal on our list is the dire wolf. More readily known these days as the sigil for House Stark in Game of Thrones. Don't get too cut up, everyone dies in the end, I'm pretty sure. Dire wolves actually aren't a fabled beast, but lived over 10,000 years ago in a similar period to that of Far Cry Primal. Although these wolves only grow to the same length of the grey wolf today, they were certainly a lot more powerful and larger, with bulking muscles and a larger bone structure. The dire wolf lived in several habitats: tropical, marshland, forests, grasslands, and from sea level up to 2,255 meters in mountainous regions. Dire wolves would prey upon large herbivores similar to that of the saber-toothed tiger. Ooh, let's not fight over meat now, boys. We know the talent that the dire wolves have in Primal, given their great instinct and pack-like nature. The wolves can alert Taurus to close-by danger by growling as a warning for the player. Pretty cool, right? Nothing is gonna jump out and surprise us now. Not like they stole it from Metal Gear or Fallout 4 either.
Another tameable animal in Taurus is the cave lion. I think given it's a stone age and the fact we're cavemen, we can fully expect to see a number of caves or mountains in Primal, and these caves will probably be crawling with these large predators. But since we are the master of beasts, of course we can learn to tame it. Wouldn't it just be awesome to have this beautiful creature on our side to roam with us? As Matt said earlier about the Sabertooth Tiger, I think the cave lion will be used to attack enemies with brutality for the more heavy kind of styled enemies. But as of yet, we don't know any of the unique talents the cave lion brings to us, so leave a comment below on what you think it would bring to the game. The cave lion will also be rideable in the game, so that's going to be awesome as well.
Next up, we can look at the cave bear, which I believe is the simplified name that the developers are giving to the short-faced bear of the time period. These bears first appeared about 800,000 years ago, and it became extinct only about 11,600 years ago. This bear was yet another large mammal of the period. They are thought to be heavily carnivorous, needing as an adult about 16 kilograms of flesh per day to survive. Damn, Teddy got hungry! The bears look savage and are massive compared to Taurus in the game. They mow any enemy in their path, and their unique talent seems to be their ability to get the enemy's attention, giving Taurus less to worry about. They also seem to take a lot more damage than the other animals in Far Cry Primal, so they're sort of like the tanks. Oh, and did I mention these hulking bundles of muscle, fur, and savagery are also rideable? How cool is that? Step 1 to looking badass, riding one of these into battle.
Moving on to the next tameable creature, we can see here that leopards will be tameable in Far Cry Primal, and their stats are also shown to us. They seem like they have excellent speed, well, who'd have guessed, which is expected. Good stealth, but the strength is a little lacking compared to the rest. Their talent is to tag nearby animals on the map, so these creatures will likely be used for hunting, tagging nearby creatures and commanding the leopard to chase down and kill our prey.
We can also see here that the Jaguar is also tameable. Its strength isn't as good as the Sabertooth Tiger or the Cave Bear, but it does have good speed and excellent stealth ability. When we're stalking prey or attacking outposts or bonfires stealthily, the Jaguar will be perfect. We have footage here of the Jaguar in action, and this shows its stealth talent, where it can attack unsuspecting enemies without alerting other enemies nearby. This will be a vital method for attacking bonfire outposts in the game because we don't want to have to deal with incoming reinforcements.
Heading back to the UI of the tameable animals then, and we can see that there are still lots to talk about, including in this there seems to be rarer, more powerful creatures that are the same as other tameable animals, so it will certainly be awesome to chase after all of them and tame them. I think this hints to potentially taming missions, where we go after rare beasts, similar to that of the later stages of the hunting missions in other Far Cry games.
We can take a look at the other creatures we can see from this UI then. We can see the dhole, the dog-like creature is also available. I don't see them being too much of a threat against other tribes or enemies, so they will be probably used for hunting and sniffing out smaller prey. And is that a badger? Oh no! Oh no! It better not be that goddamn honey badger. Well, it looks like the tables have turned, bitches. If that is the honey badger, it means we can tame this pesky spawn of hell and inflict the same pain we felt for so long in Far Cry 4 onto our enemies in the primal region of Taurus.
Moving on then, and you didn't think we'd leave this one out, did you? The woolly mammoth. It's one of the main creatures to come to Primal, and we'll be seeing a lot of this throughout the game. They're going to be extremely difficult to hunt, taking a ton of damage and a ton of manpower to get those things to the ground. The woolly mammoth was an enormous mammal that once roamed the vast frozen northern landscapes. Believed to be closely related to the modern day elephant, the woolly mammoth remained in the wild until roughly 1700 BC when it became extinct. The woolly mammoth was found roaming the bitter Arctic tundra, where they'd often be gathered around in large herds for warmth and protection. So you can imagine this in game. You're going to see one and you're going to think, oh my god, where's the other 5 that are with it? I'm so dead. These animals were also huge, with adults often reaching heights of 4 meters or more. Similar to elephants, the woolly mammoths had enormous tusks which would have been used for both digging and collecting food, and obviously for intimidating and fighting off other predators. The tusks of the woolly mammoth were often quite dramatically curved and could easily be up to 5 meters long. We know already from the videos that the woolly mammoth will be a rideable creature in Primal, similar to the ability to ride the elephants in Far Cry 4. So although they're rideable, I really hope that they make them tameable as well, because I'd love to send them in to stampede enemy villages.
The woolly rhino is another large herbivore that we will encounter in Primal, and these guys will cause us to roam the wilds a little more carefully. We don't want to pick a fight with an angry rhino. Do you remember Far Cry 4? These guys are large herbivores similar to today's rhinos in many ways, but as the name suggests, they were cloaked in a thick fur and found in Arctic conditions. The horns are worn down on the undersurface, which suggests they were used to sweep back and forth sideways on the ground. This may have been to help clear snow off grass, or as part of a ritual display. Hunters, beware, you better be skilled if you want to tackle these.
On the Far Cry website, a number of these creatures are listed, and we can also expect to see the basic animals such as deer, bison and the yak, but a number of slots have been left blank on the homepage, indicating that there are a lot more animals yet to be revealed. Here are some of the creatures we'd like to see in the game.
Terror birds are another creature that has been highly requested to make an appearance in Primal. Huge, flightless terror birds were South America's top predators for millions of years, and at nearly 3 meters tall, certainly lived up to their name. They would kill their prey by smashing it repeatedly against the ground. I mean, that's a bit disturbing, but ferocious, I love it! The terror birds lived between 27 million and 15,000 years ago. I think we should start their extinction process by hunting them down, because that death isn't a good way to go, boys.
Now, the Androsarchus were awesome creatures that roamed the world in the Stone Age. Androsarchus would have measured 5 meters from nose to tail, yes, 5 meters, making it a contender for the title of largest ever carnivorous land mammal. Its teeth and jaws were very strong, indicating a diet that incorporated a lot of hard items such as bone and even turtle shell. The Androsarchus was related to the hoofed animals such as pigs and deer, so probably had hoofs rather than paws. Now, if we don't have the luxury of taming this cool looking beast, then, you know what? I'm still gonna go hunting for some prehistoric bacon. I mean, jeez, yum yum.
Paraceratherium, guess how many times it took me to say that right, currently holds the record as the largest land mammal ever identified. It was a relative of the rhinoceros, belonging to a family of hornless rhinos, but it had a giraffe-like lifestyle, feeding on the leaves of trees. It weighed some 20 tons and stood 5.5 meters tall at the shoulder. Can we please see this creature roaming Oros? It's going to be huge!
Taking a look at the map, we can see the icons for a number of animals in the game. Most of them are to be expected. You have the doe, tapir, wolves, deer and bears. But also notice the boars. Now Ubisoft look to be taking the easier option and going with the regular boar here, judging from the icon, but was a prehistoric creature similar to the boar that could have been a lot cooler. Maybe it might get changed still before patch, we doubt it very much, but we can always wait and see.
What Ali is referring to is the creature called the Entelodont. Entelodonts spent a lot of time fighting with their own kind. Many of their skulls have been found to have severe wounds. Some have gashes up to 2 centimeters deep in the bone between the eyes, which can only have been inflicted by other Entelodonts.
You can also notice on the map this little creature, which looks to me like, here we go, Propylopharium. Jeez, why do I get all the tough ones to pronounce, honestly? These little guys were one of the earliest horses. The little forest animals had 4 small hooves on their front feet and 3 on the back. They walked on the pads of their feet like cats and dogs. There were 2 species, one slightly larger than the other. I kinda don't want to hunt something so cute, aww.
Now for those who've seen Ice Age, we remember the idiot Sloth Sid, right? Adorable. Well, we might expect to see sloths in the game, which would be awesome. However, I'd expect to see a larger kind, giant ground sloths. You know, I mean, less intimidating, but food's food. Although related to modern tree sloths, giant ground sloths resembled no other animal. They lived on the ground, rivaled the mammoths in size, and were some of the strangest mammals ever to walk the earth. Their remarkable claws were up to 50 centimeters long. If you want to know how much that is, it's about the size of your forearm. Who would have thought a sloth could seem so menacing? I want to see these for sure.
Finally then, let's take a look at the Gastornis. The Gastornis was a giant of its time, at 2 meters tall. It's thought to have been a predator because its huge beak would have been far too powerful for simply crushing nuts and other vegetation, and it also had impressive talons on its toes. Its size and heavy build show that it couldn't have been a fast runner, so it probably ambushed its prey. This would be another terrifying giant bird to come across in Primal. Give us big threatening creatures like this to hunt and we will be happy gamers.
So this was our first look at the animals of Far Cry Primal. We'll be sure to cover any more information that comes out on the animals of the game, so look out for that. Also on Tube Noobs TV, look out for the news on the Collector's Edition of the game, as well as bonus quest details. This has been David, Matt and Ali covering the latest Far Cry Primal news, and as always, comment below telling us what you think about the new Far Cry Primal game and your take on the influx of new information on the animals. And if you want all the latest Far Cry Primal news, subscribe to the channel because we will be covering every step of the way.
Welcome to the Far Cry channel. Look at all the Far Cry videos. You want to click here to see one Far Cry video. You want to click there to see another Far Cry video. And if you're lucky, and we're lucky, one day we'll cover Far Cry as well. Because why not? You know you wanna give a cheeky sub, cheeky like, ooh.